Look at this, huge city, loads of traffic, and as we zoom in, you'll see pedestrians as well. This is going to be taking us a few minutes. We're going to be using CiDy 2, Simple Traffic System, and Stylized Vehicle Pack, plus an open source character system that I've built, links in the description. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is add a terrain, nothing special about that. So let's just bring that into view in the scene view. And then we're going to open up the window, CiDy editor. And then we're going to click on this button here, which is going to configure the terrain ready for me to start adding nodes. Shift right click to add nodes. Shift left click to select a node if you want to, and then join them up with shift right click again, and you get a block. Let's zoom in and take a look. Okay, that's one block, but that doesn't make a city. So shift left click to select this node, shift right click to create more nodes, and you'll get roads in between those blocks, or in between the nodes, and when you join them up, you get a block. So let's do another one here. Excellent, and let's do a longer one up at the top here. Shift right click, shift right click, shift right click, and so on. Let's speed this up to the next interesting bit. So in CiDy, you can create different themes for the blocks. All of these are coming out as downtown blocks at the moment because that's the default. But this block that I'm creating now, we're going to turn into a residential block. To do that, we shift left click on the cell itself, and then we can change the theme over here in the inspector. Click the generate, and you can see it's a different set of buildings on there. But that's not all. We want to make this a little bit more interesting if it's residential, so shift click the road and then drag out these little nodes here. And these will allow you to create a more interesting shaped road. You have to click the generate button, but it'll generate the road for you. So you can see we're going to make this one a bit curvy too, and then the next one will turn into an S shape. So CiDy comes with 3 different themes. The last one is an industrial theme. So I'm just going to change a few of these round, turn them into industrial and into residential in different places. Add a few more blocks up at the top here as well. And there we have it. A lovely city in just a few moments. This will conform to a terrain and things like that, but that's not what we're trying to show here. The next thing I want to show you is how to put traffic into this city. So let's take a look at that. So the first thing I'm going to do is just turn off the nodes because they get a bit distracting in the scene view and the game view. Then we're going to open up the simple traffic system. We're going to add an AI manager, and then we're going to select CiDy as the generator and click generate. And what that does is it generates all the routes for your traffic as well as places for your traffic to spawn. So when we hit play, we get a whole load of traffic flowing around. Look at that. Just a few minutes from nothing to a full city with traffic flowing through, working traffic lights, everything. But what about pedestrians? Let's throw some of them in. So we're going to need an empty game object. We'll call that pedestrian manager, and we'll attach to that the CiDy pedestrian system. This comes from an open source package that I make available, link in the description. So we'll drop the CiDy graph into this parameter here so it can get hold of the roads and so on. We're also going to need to set up the nav mesh with these 3 fields here. So they're going to be areas, road, crossing, and pavement. They are configurable in the inspector here if you want to change them. The key thing is you have to set up the cost right. So you want the roads to be pretty high so the pedestrians won't go on the roads. Crossings reasonably high, pavement low, and the normal walkable area low too. Now this pedestrian manager is going to spawn our pedestrians in for us. So we're going to set the nav mesh spawn area to just pavement so they don't appear in the middle of the road. We're going to tick this box to have them spawn on the nav mesh. And then we're going to tell them which objects to spawn. So we've got 3 objects we want to spawn in. These are provided by the open source code as well, and they're defined in a scriptable object inside the resources folder. We have a blue, a red, and a green Neo person. These are just simple people, and they have an animator on them and a move script and so on and so forth. Now you can use any character you want, just set them up in the same way these ones are set up. And now I'm going to configure this spawner so that it spawns 200 of these characters in a radius around the city. So just positioning the spawner and setting the radius appropriately. Once we've done that, we just click the Configure CiDy button, and that will build the nav mesh for us that these characters are going to follow. So if we click over to the nav mesh tab and zoom in, you can see the different layers and the different colors that you get inside of there. Great stuff. Let's hit play. And if we zoom in, there are the pedestrians crossing over at the crossings. They are avoiding the cars here, but that's more by luck. I haven't yet put any avoidance in. I will do by the time you watch this. Hopefully it'll already be in there, in fact. But what we see is pedestrians with traffic. But the cars all look a bit samey. Let's do something about that. And the simple traffic system makes this really easy. So let's first of all take away this demo car that we have in here. So I'd set that to 0. And then we're going to go over here to the Stylized vehicle pack. This is a separate pack to the traffic system, but the traffic system gives you an integration pack that has all of those cars wired up for use in simple traffic system. So all we have to do is go in here, find those prefabs, and drag them into the AI manager. Then we hit play, and straight away you see we have a really good variety of vehicles in here. There's trucks, there's police cars, there's sports cars. Let's take a look down here where we can see them driving through this lovely residential street. Lovely stuff going on. There's a big truck there and a minibus at the back there. If we have a look over here, we'll see some more. There's a lot of police cars over here. Something going on over here. Not looking good. So there we have it. Just a few minutes, we have a fully populated city. Fantastic stuff. See you soon.